99. And wait for it. 100. Alright, what do I get for that? Surely I get a prize. No? Alright, whatever. Okay, so we're back over at the edge of where the 1.17 terrain turns into the 1.18 terrain. And then in the last episode, we tried to continue this down this river and along that way. But I've been flying around a bit, and that's why I was over at the gold farm repairing my elytra, because it was nearly dead. And I think I've got a better route planned. And I have actually marked most of it out now, apart from this bit that's going to go through the jungle. So, yeah. Getting through this jungle is not going to be fun, and that's definitely going to be a whole thing on its own, building that river section. But if we just fly across here, this actually is not too bad. So the plan is to just have it come through this way, through this jungle. So I need to chop all this down, which won't be fun, but we'll get that done. And then from there, it should be fairly simple. So you can see it connects to another river through this side. And then over here, you can see I've started marking this out with a blue wool. So once we get down here, we'll do a little bit of terraforming around this. And then we're going to start digging along here. And this is where the new river is going to go. And as you can see, I've been chopping down trees along the way. And the leaves haven't even despawned yet. That's the kind of distance I've been travelling. So I decided to go into this ravine. So we'll block it off at this side. And this should make things a little bit easier. So a little bit less digging to do, which should be nice. And then from there, the wool continues down this way. Ow. And then it turns left here just to go to the river that is just outside of the city. So if we just come up here, it connects to a river just down here. And then turns right down here. We'll probably dig this out a bit, make this a lot bigger. And then over here where this sand is, my idea was to come straight across, bring a river directly this way and into the city. So it is quite a distance, but I won't be doing that last section of river down there like I just said, because I've been doing a little bit of research. We won't be doing any river terraforming today. I want to start making some plans for the layout of this city, and the river is a massive part of that. So I do need to know where it goes, but we're not going to be doing it today. I have been putting a lot of thought into this, and when I say a lot, I mean way too much. I've actually been reading up on docks from real life cities and the decisions behind why they were built where they were, and I'm definitely taking this way too seriously. Hopefully though, all that effort will pay off and I'll end up with an awesome city layout, and if not, I found it interesting anyway. So as I said, my first thought was going directly in from the river, but then after my research I realised that the inland docks will be built out of necessity because they are a massive undertaking, and that's the same in real life and in Minecraft. The whole point of them is to ease congestion along the river, so with that in mind, the first early docks for this settlement would have been along this river. But over time, as this gets busier, there would be a need for the inland docks. So instead of going in here, I'm going to have an unused dock along here and an entrance to the inland docks in the middle. There are then going to be 3 docks along a curve, which will join up this river and the sea on that side over there. Then along the sides of the docks, we can have warehouse buildings and other trade related areas. There may also be a canal going from this river through to the sea on that side, but this may not be necessary depending on what we do along here. Alright, so the next thing I actually wanted to do was get this area prepped for turning it into a city. So the first step I was thinking was to get rid of all the animals and all the villagers. The problem is there's a lot less villagers around here than there used to be, and there's a lot of iron golems that have taken damage, so we've definitely had mobs spawn around here. So I was getting a bit worried that all my villagers had died. But I've just been over here and this is what I see. Why did you do this? Why? Alright, I think we know what I'm doing now, don't we? Look at this up here though, there's absolutely tons of villagers around here. Where have you lot been while I've been looking? Anyway, we don't want it to be night time. Let's have a sleep and we'll try and save those idiots that have fallen down there. Alright, let's see what we can do about this. So I'm thinking if we just level this off a little bit, fill that in like that. I've grabbed some fences, so I'm thinking if I put these here, just have a place to trap them for now. I know it's not ideal having them outside, but we'll just do a little bit of something like this. Try and get them up here at least, and then we can worry about what we do next after that. But I'm going to get out of there early. Can you do that? No, is that going to... No. Go that way. Yeah. And you. No. What? Why? Thank you. Right. There. Right. You 3. What are you doing down there? Come on, we do a bit of this. You can do that, guy. Come on. See? That's doable. Look at me. Watch. Like this. See? Yeah, come on. This way. No? Right. Yeah, that's it. Go. Go that way. Well, you've got options now. Do it. Right, I don't know how I can make this much easier for you. Stupid villagers. I'm not doing this all the way, by the way. Go there. Come on, we spent nearly a whole day doing this. Go. You follow me? There we go. Come on. That's smart. Go on. Friends. Look, go in there. Right, if I break this, will you go through here and you two won't go anywhere, will you? That's it. No, 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 no. Alright, hello. Alright, you two. I'm starting to be really annoyed by you two. That's it. Go that way. You do the same. Nice. This is looking good. Jump on the block. See, he's smart. Nice. There we go. That was easy, wasn't it? Okay, so the next thing I want to do is actually trap the rest of these villages, so I know they're going to be safe when I'm working around here. My first idea was to use bows, but now I'm thinking maybe I should use rails. Although they do seem to be walking over here for some reason, so... What we got? Can I trap any of you over here? Yeah, right. At this level here, where it's all flat, this would be quite good. Oh, they're going to the workstations now. That's probably why they're coming up here. Nice. Right, that's a good idea. If I get rid of all of the workstations over here and bring them up here, that might be quite helpful. Right, let's do that. Okay, so that ended up being pretty easy. All I did, moved all the workstations over here, crafted up a few more of the composters and barrels, stuck those in there, and they all just came to it, which was brilliant. So I'm not going to trade with fishermen or farmers, I don't think, but I can break these eventually and I'll get some proper trades going. Just by a happy accident, this is actually really close to where I brought these up as well. So I am going to keep them separate for now, just in case something bad happens. Good to have two groups of them, isn't it? So we'll leave that as it is and we'll call the villagers done for now. They're reasonably safe. I will put them inside at some point, but very soon I really want to start marking out where all like the main features of this village are going to be going. But to do that, I need an absolute ton of wool because I like to use real bright colours just so I can see really clearly what's going on. So I'm just breeding up these sheep a little bit. Is that all I've got? I've only got the 3 in there for now. Right, okay. I do have a little bit of wool, so I might be able to make a start, but I'm going to have to really breed up a lot of those sheep. So I've got a ton of the cyan, we can use that for something, and the light blue is what I want to use for the river and for the docks as well, so we'll take that first, because I think that is going to be the main thing, and then we can just keep coming back every now and then and feeding up those sheep. Actually, you know what we should do? Let's grab some fences and try and get in all of the other sheep we can find in the area. So don't put some of this, get that in there. Now, I'm definitely not going to want any like rural thing in here, but for now, I think if we just put it down here, we can move these eventually. This is purely just for marking out where everything's going, so there's no harm in doing it just here for now. So let's mark out a pretty decent sized pen. Alright, that'll do. Let's grab some sheep. Okay, so we've got those sheep in there, and I've started off with light blue and red for now, because those are the colours I'm going to need first. And to get started, we're just marking out the path of where these docks are going to go. So I'm not doing the whole shape of them for now, I'm just marking out a straight line for each one, just so we know the basic idea of where they're going, and then we can build from that. Then after getting the first one done, we change to a 45-degree angle coming across, and that will be where the second dock is going. And then finally, we went across to the other river and built from there up to the second one. So that is going to be the longer third dock. Okay, so once I was happy with where they were going, I then needed to figure out the shape. So we came back over to the river and started with this one. And there was a lot of back and forth with this. I was really trying to get the scale of it right. At first, it was definitely too small. But then I didn't want to go too big either, because it could look a little bit ridiculous if it was too big. So tried to get the balance right, and I think I pretty much got it. And then after I was happy with that one, I went across to the other river and did the other straight one there. And we brought that one in quite far inland. It's quite a long straight one. And then from there, we tried to do the one in the middle. And there was a lot of back and forth again with this one. I did initially have it over at the other side, but then I decided to move it along the other way a little bit. I think I'm happy with this as it is now. It's definitely a very rough guide. Things may change as we start to build up other buildings around here, but for now, I think this is a good guide and a good starting point for building the rest of the city. Okay, so now switching over to the red wall, I'm going to mark out the main road that goes through the city. So we're starting over here at the river, and I've just put some pillars in, because that's going to be where we're going to add a bridge in. And then from there, we're just marking out the path through to the city. We're trying to keep away from too many straight lines, just having these curve around the landscape and along the coast. And then obviously we need to come inland, so we're not going through the dock, and then we're going between this second and third dock. So there will be a bridge here, but remember the docks are going to be sunk down into the ground as well. And then from there, it goes through the existing village, and this will be heavily built up around here. And then from there, we're just going back up the landscape again, along the coast, and then over to the east side of this land, ready for what we eventually build over here. No idea what that is at the moment, but it's definitely going to need a road, isn't it? And then we just added in a few more of the major roads with the red wool. One down the centre that goes just near my storage area, and then this goes up the hill where the castle is going to be. One going along the docks, which will be access to some of the buildings that we have at this side of the city. And then from there, I added another one in from the dock road, and that also goes up the hill and joins with that road that's going to the castle. And then after the major roads were complete, I switched over to the orange wool and started marking out some of the smaller roads that go between these major roads. I tried to keep these much smaller in length, and also making sure they don't go in a straight line at any point, just so we can have much more interest when we're walking through the city. And then I've also taken some of the lime green wool and marked out a square down here. Now, this was supposed to be a rectangle, so I don't know what happened there, but this is the location of where I want to build a big church. And this is going to be the centerpiece for the Old Town districts that we're marking out here. So I don't think this is the right size for it. It's about the right location, but what I think I might do is move this back a little bit, and that's why I haven't marked out anything around the other sides of it. And I've also marked out another major road that goes behind the church, but leaving a lot of room just to allow for some expansion there. And then I've also marked out another smaller road in the orange at the back, just near the hill that connects up to that new major road. Okay, so now we're switching over to the cyan wool, and we're finally getting to mark out some of the buildings. So I'm starting at this area to the east, where we just have these few buildings already there. And what I want to do is have buildings go along either side of this road that I've marked out here. But also, this existing village path, I want to turn this into a kind of alleyway. So I've put buildings all along there, trying to keep them really close together. And then the curve round at the end, coming back to the road. So once this is all built up, this is going to be really well enclosed. And then I decided to try and correct my mistake from earlier by changing this square that I'd marked out for the church into a rectangle. But somehow, I managed to make it into a square again. So you know what? Maybe this is the Minecraft gods telling me that this building should be a square. Then I moved on to another one of the focal points of the city, and this is going to be a dock office. So this is a really important building when we've got these docks along here. This is one I really struggled with where to place. I do know I want to go for an unusual shape for this. I don't know exactly what yet, but it's definitely going to be a little bit unusual and out of the ordinary, something that catches the eye. Then after that, we could go really crazy with the cyan wool and start laying out the foundations for the rest of these buildings around the dock office area. These, as you can see, are really close together, but there will probably be even closer once they're built up, because we'll have the overhangs and we'll probably have some of these buildings joining up together. So I want this area, this Old Town district, to be really densely packed together. There's not going to be much greenery, if any at all, really. So it's all going to be really close, narrow streets. And I think with these things that we've marked out here, that should help us achieve that. And then from there, we switched over to the yellow wool. And that's partly because I used all the cyan wool, which is absolutely ridiculous, but also it's because I want to signify that these buildings marked out in yellow are actually going to be shops. So I'm thinking of having this main road marked out in red here, having shops all the way down at either side. I've also had to start clearing things out here, which I didn't really want to do. I wanted to try and leave as much of the village standing before I started building, but there was just too much going on down here, so I had to clear it all out so I could start marking things out. And then you'll also see here as well, I have left quite a bit of space to the left of those yellow buildings. And that's because I think behind here, in front of the church, I want to have like a courtyard or market square kind of area. Don't know exactly what that's going to be like yet, but I just felt like there should be a big open space there. Okay, and that's where I am actually going to leave the planning for now, because I think I've got more than enough to be going on with here. I've got an absolute ton of buildings to get built. So this takes an absolute age, and it's ridiculous how much wool you get through as well. I've got through an absolute ton. Look, these sheep down here, they've been sheared so much. I definitely should have set up an automated way of doing this, but never mind, I'm sure we'll get that done at some point. Alright, so let's have a ground level view, look around the city and see what I've got going on. So these are the docks, and from an overhead view, they look fairly big. But when you're down here, they're absolutely massive. This is going to take some doing to get rid of all this. I know I definitely have enough dirt and stone as well, so I may have to do something a bit more explosive to get rid of all of this. I think that is definitely what I'm going to do. So then we have the road marked out in red, and this is going to be the main road that goes across the city. And it's just to the north side of the city, but then we need to cut in here to come across this dock. So this will be a bridge here, and it'll probably be at this height, and then this is going to go down to sea level, which I think is about 10 blocks below here. So yeah, got a lot of work to do there. And then coming up here, we have a junction that goes either way, and this one in green is the dock offices. So this is going to be a really unusually shaped building. It's definitely going to be a challenge doing something like this. I think this house is going to need to go. That's not going to be part of it. And then over here, nothing marked out yet, but we're going to have a lot of like warehouse and like big dock areas, storage areas for stuff that's been brought in from the other towns and villages. And then we've got a road that goes up here, and then this will go up to the castle that we have up there eventually. No, it's not. That's a lie. That road goes down there. And that'll actually, no, this is the one that goes to the old dock. So we're going to have like some kind of old dock down here. This is the dock that will have been originally used in this settlement. So now it's not going to be used. It may be a little bit. There may be something there. Maybe for like bigger ships, or we could have it as a derelict area. That might be quite interesting. Or we could have it like what tends to happen in towns where these things become disused and the town's overpopulated. This could become like a residential, like marina type area. We could do that. And then coming back down this road, we have this smaller road that goes through here and connects up to another road that goes up to the castle. So there's a lot of ways getting around this city, and once we've got everything built up, it's going to be, my hope is it's going to be really interesting just walking around and not just flying over the top of everything, but actually getting down here and seeing all the buildings and having your line of sight broken into like the bigger structures, and then as you come around the corner you see things. That's the kind of thing I'm trying to achieve with this, with everything packed really close together. So then we've got all these buildings around here, and I think these are mainly going to be like residential buildings, maybe an office or two. And then the yellow ones, as we've just said, these are the shops. So these two here are probably going to be like big glass like window shop fronts. And then I'm thinking this one's going to extend up quite high, and we'll probably have an arch going through here. And then when we come through here, that building's not going to be there, but we're going to have like a big courtyard type area around here, and then there's going to have this massive church, which won't be a square. I don't know why I keep doing that. It's probably because I don't have an overhead view while I'm building it. And to me, it just looks like a rectangle down here, but from above, it definitely isn't. And then we've got the main road, again, going down there. And that's going to go into another district that we have over there. And that's probably going to be more residential, but it's going to be not as densely packed in as this. And there'll probably be like bigger houses and a lot more fancier over here. Definitely more green. This over here is probably going to be quite great as far as the floor goes. And then the buildings themselves are going to have a lot of colour in as well, but there's not going to be a lot of green. That's what I'm trying to say. So then along here, this is the bit that I found really interesting, and it's what I'm going to get started on next time when we actually start doing some building. So this smaller road that we've got going around here, I've got buildings on either side, and then we do have them going into the hill. So I'm not going to dig this out that much. Obviously, I need to a little bit to get something in there, but I think these buildings are actually going to be slightly higher. It's going to be quite hard having them this height and higher, but we'll figure something out so it looks a bit interesting. And it's also handy to have them higher as well, so when you're, for example, down here, you'll be able, nothing is blocked because it's all at the same level, so you'll be able to see things at the back that higher up, and it just creates more interesting views. So then the really interesting bit that I really want to get on with is this alleyway here. I want to leave the layout of these buildings pretty much as they are. Obviously, the design is going to completely change, but I do want to keep this quite tight like this. The only building that's going to go is this church because, you know, we're building that big one over there. We don't need this little thing here. So this one will get ripped down, and I think that's the only one that sticks out into this path. So that'll be quite handy that that one goes, but then we can build up all of this around here. Not sure what I'm going to do on this side yet. I'll probably have another building here, but it depends what I do with these. So that's why I haven't marked anything out there. And then we've got this, where the rest of the alley extends. And this just goes round into a curve. We have another bit here. This may be like an alleyway or like an arch over the top of it. Don't know yet. And then this comes back and connects to this road. And then this road extends to the other main road that goes up to the castle. So we have a few roads coming up to this castle because it is going to be like a big centerpiece. But haven't started marking this out yet because designing a castle is a whole thing on its own. Not going to get into that and try and do it all in one go. So that is one district of the city pretty much fully planned out. So very happy with how this has gone. But unfortunately, I have run out of time. I've spent a long time designing this. I don't know, that's 2 episodes now with not much building done. But don't worry, next time we're going to get started. We're going to get a lot of building done next time, and it's going to be a lot of fun. If you have enjoyed this episode, please do leave a like, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.